throw your heads up to this 5-minute quickie, which is slightly longer as normal, but it's all about the language of love, how to express it. But most importantly of all, not only express it, but have it received in the way that you want to express it. It's an art form, but it's not a difficult art form, and it will make a world of difference to both you and the person you love. It is awesome. Have a listen.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
It's the language of love and how to communicate. Hey, it's Cloughie here, and yeah, I'm going to talk about the language of love, but not in a lovey-dovey way, because knowing how to communicate how you feel about a person and get them to respond and basically make them feel loved will enhance any relationship, won't it? It would, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you like to know how you can, with your partner, your husband, your wife, the person you love, wouldn't it be important to you, or would it be important to you, to be able to express how you feel about them so they get it? So there's no misunderstanding. They just get it. Because we all really like to be heard, don't we? We like to be heard, and the message that we give, to be heard in the way that we mean it. Because how many times have you said something and that person didn't get it? They just didn't get it. You think you did and said exactly the right words, or you did and done exactly the right thing, and it didn't seem to get the result you wanted. Here's an example. You get this, you'll hear people say, "You never tell me how much you love me. You never tell me you love me at all." And you go, "Of course I do. Don't I? I do. Do you remember that last time? Well, I bought you that wonderful gift. I bought you those that flowers, or I bought you a CD or a download. I bought you something. Wasn't that marvellous? That shows how much I love you." It didn't go anywhere. I always tell you I'm loving you, because I always come and give you a cuddle. I always touch you in that loving way. And they go, "No, you don't. I don't get it." Because you see, they don't get it. The reason they don't get it is because that's not how they feel loved, or how they experience feeling loved. Because, some people say, "You've done all of that, but you never tell me. You bought me that stuff. You do cuddle." But that's not, I just don't get it. I need to hear it. Now, it is so obvious when you look from the outside in that there's like a mismatch. A mismatch in such a loving way, but it's still a mismatch. You see, we have loads of ways that we can communicate. We've got non-verbal communication, the way we use our physiology, our body, our face, the tone of our voice, the way we move. And sometimes people just love to see things, get things, to be given things. They like to see it, see your demonstration of love, as it were. Some people are auditory. So the first one was visual. Some people are auditory. They like to hear. They like to hear that, or the words of love. And they like to hear them in a special way, maybe. It's the tone. Other people like a kinesthetic, feeling people. And they like to be touched in a special way. I know I'm a kinesthetics person. I like people to touch me on the shoulder, or just give me a cuddle and just go, "Yeah." And they don't have to say anything. And I just know they have an affection for me. But it's not just that. But you see, there's a primary one, I guess. I love that feeling. But I also like to be heard, but not so much. I also like to be treated, but not so much. If I was only treated or only heard it, I probably wouldn't I probably wouldn't be 100% there, because my primary part is I need to be felt. I need to feel love, literally by touch. Now you can see now that how someone who needs to hear the words, it doesn't matter what you do other than words, they will never truly feel loved. And then you get the other layers, but you really need to find out what is that primary way, the real basic way in their neurology that they experience a knowing that they are loved. Because when you get it right, man, you're done. You're always going to be expressing your love the way you want to feel it, or you want to express it and get them to feel it the way you want them to feel it. Because it's going to go through, and then there's going to be that ultimate knowing, that feeling of knowing that I'm loved. So how do you do that? Well, it's really, really very, very complicated, very deep psychological, which is a lot of old BS. You know, Albert Einstein, in simplicity, there's genius. Don't make it any more simple than it needs to be, but we'll make it simple. Here's the how. Because there's no hanging in the PDU, Personal Development Unplugged podcast. No hanging. Here's the how. So simple. You ask. You can ask that person. All you have to ask is, I just want to know. I want to know how you know that you're loved. Is it something that you need to hear? Something someone says to you? Is it something that you receive? Something you're given? Or is it the way you're maybe touched? The way, someone just touches you. What would be the one? Hey, how simple could that be? Because most people go, well, I don't really know. They won't know straight off because it's inside them. But when they go through it, they can go, oh yeah, actually, it's hearing, or it's being touched, or it's no, I love the way that you always buy me flowers, things like that. I need to see it and like a demonstration. And then you go, well, now you've got that one. Out of the other two, what would be the next one you'd have? And then, you got the third. So now you can make sure that when you want to express love to that person, what is the hierarchy? And you've got to hit number one. And then if you can come in with number 2 and 3, man, you've hit the bullseye. And then, because you love somebody, they are getting it. And the thing is, when you do that, my own experience is that other person says, well, now I know that was stupid, or it seemed stupid at the time when you started asking that, but I get it now. So how do you like feeling loved? How do you know that you're loved by me? And then you can tell them, because you've thought about it, haven't you? And then they can do it back, and then you get to feel and know that you're loved. Now, you can do this in any way. How do we can expand this, and we probably will in another podcast. I don't want to dilute what we've just done, because there is only one true emotion. That's it. There's only one true emotion, and that's pure love. Everything else is a derivative of it. So when you can express love, you are doing something which is so subtle but so wonderful. And you know what it feels like to feel loved. Isn't it awesome? Yeah, it is. So do this. Just do it. It may seem silly, but I guarantee you, the old Cluffy guarantee doesn't come out very often, but when it does, it's a slam dunk. Just do it. You'll thank me for it. Let me know how you get on. The old email, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Let me know. I just want to know how you got on, the reaction you got. And what was yours? What are your prime one? What is your secondary? Just so I know. Maybe I'll be able to speak to you in that way. But just let me know. I'd love you to do this. And also, because love is a wonderful thing to share this podcast. It'd be awesome. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more about that, because I'm going to say a little bit more about it right now. But until next time, I'm going to speak to you real soon. Bye now. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I've heard this before, but you haven't heard this one. So, anyway, I know you've only got so much time in the world. Time is precious. And you've only got so much time to share good things with your friends. So maybe the next time you consider sharing something, you can consider sharing this podcast or a podcast of mine of Personal Development Unplugged that you enjoyed, and share it with, I'd like you to share it with everyone. You know, the pay it forward. And if you pay it forward and then you ask somebody else to pay it forward, you know, we'll be really creating this community of the Personal Development Unplugged kind. So I'd love you to do that if you could. If you would like to subscribe to this podcast, you can do it through iTunes, you can do it through Castbox. You can do that. And if you'd love to leave a little review, 5 stars is always good, but the words are really more important. If you do that, it takes about, I know people say, oh, it takes seconds, but it doesn't. It takes probably a couple of minutes. If you could do that right now, hey, that would be good. And lastly, all this hypnosis that I do is completely free. You have to go to another website though. Keeps it all nice and clean for you. It's also downloadable, which is the bit I like. I want to give it to you, and so you can put it on any device that you want, and you can listen to it anywhere you want. You don't need to have your Wi-Fi, your internet on. So that's at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. You do have to put an email address in because I have to send you the link to get it. But I just want to tell you now, for all this data protection stuff and everything that's going on at the moment, I do not share your emails with anyone. No one. Nada. They're just to let me send you the link and send you a few updates of the new hypnosis tracks. And what I'm hoping to do as this community, because that's how you get to become like the official member of the Unplugged Personal Development community, is to send some more personal hypnosis tracks that won't be available or talked about on the podcast. There'll be things of my creation which I just want to give to you. So if you'd like that, go there, paulcloughonline.com/podcast. We'll have some great times. We will. I think that's about it. So enjoy every heartbeat. And please remember, do share. Be great. Bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.